Hi moms and dads, do you ever have trouble getting your kids to get along? I think most parents would say yes, and I am definitely in that category big time. Well today, Jessica Hartshorn from American Baby is going to tell us some ways to stop sibling squabbles. I'm so glad you're here, and you always seem to come around just in the nick of time because I'm going through this right now. Serious problems with my 4-year-old son and my 7-year-old daughter. They just won't get along. But I know everyone goes through this and it's normal. So you say your first tip is about prevention and what you can do to stop problems before they start. Too late for me, but let's help other people out.
Well, when you have a baby, you know, if dinner's running late or they've missed a snack, you know, they're going to have a tantrum and throw themselves on the floor, and how it manifests itself as they grow older is they turn on each other. So I know that if I get home and dinner's running late, my kids are they're gonna start squabbling. What can you do? But you try to make sure they're fed. You give them water. You know, I'm a big fan now of sort of the appetizer before dinner. If it's taking me too long to cook, I give them some carrots or something to eat, just to keep them occupied. And also, if they've missed a nap, you just have to learn to expect that they're going to be a little testier with each other, just like you are when you're overtired. So.
Absolutely. No, you can't expect that to work 100% of the time. So you have to be prepared for something to happen.
Right. You have to sort of recognize that, you know what, they're tired today, they're going to start fighting. No! And then you start trying to run interference before it gets bad. Okay,
so your next tip is splitting the kids up. And this is what I've been trying to do lately. If I keep them separate, usually things are okay.
But don't they see my kids, who are about the same ages, they'll sometimes get upset if they're fighting and I say, listen, do you guys have to go to your rooms and separate for a while? No. Because the truth is they want to be together. Now, sometimes if it does get bad, I do throw them in their separate rooms and they have to stay in there till they're ready to come out and apologize to each other. And it does seem to work. And sometimes, especially if you've got a really young baby, let's say if you have a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old, and the 2-year-old will just not leave the 7-year-old alone. Giving the 7-year-old some time in her room without the baby is important to just, you know, till they both cool down and are ready for each other again.
Yeah, it seems the only thing that's working for me is just keeping them apart. Keeping them apart right now, and when they get together, they argue. But okay, so next way is to create a diversion, and that'll stop fights sometimes.
Sometimes, you know, for me, it's like, hey, look and see if the neighbor's out there, you know, because our neighbor sits outside our house sometimes. I try to give them like some assignment to do together. You know, run downstairs and see if you can find Daddy. Because sometimes if they're trying to work in cooperation, or, you know, I'll tell them to go out in the garden and pick a tomato. You know, if they have some project to do together, they'll forget what they're fighting about, or sometimes they'll start fighting about whatever project I've given them. But you can do that, or you can sing a song. You have to become kind of the entertainer. That's, you know, I find one of the biggest challenges of parenting is you have to always be on and be ready with some kind of distraction to get them out of whatever, you know, headlock they've gotten into and get them onto something else.
If I set up a craft while I'm making dinner, that's usually good. If they're making a picture, that sometimes works.
Bring out some Play-Doh, or bring out a toy they haven't seen in a while, or send them outside with squirt guns. That's another good thing.
And you also say squirt gun.
Squirt each other.
Squirt. And you also stress the importance of giving your kids one-on-one time. I mean, that's really important.
Because often what they're fighting for is your attention. You know, by screaming at each other, they really want you to look over and step in, and it's, you know, another way to get you involved.
Right.
When you maybe don't want to be involved, but sometimes if you sort of pay the meter, is the, you know, an expression I've heard before, in that you've given your daughter some attention, you've given your son some attention that day, tried to give them some one-on-one time, then they're not as likely to be screaming for your attention by screaming at each other. You can hope.
We can only hope. Okay, so some fighting isn't bad, though. I mean, you can't stop all fighting, so you're going to have some squabbles here and there, but you say that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, you know, the guy who we interviewed for our story really pointed out that part of the reason you have more than one child is that they learn so much from each other, and they learn so much from working through these crazy arguments.
Oh, it'd be Caroline's turn.
Tiny, come on, no fair.
You know, they have arguments with each other that they can't have with classmates or friends maybe. They can be a little more vicious with each other, but in a way that makes them more loving too. They really say what's on their mind.
Back there.
They work through difficult sharing issues, space issues, and they come out better for it. I mean, most of us grow up pretty close to our siblings as adults, and part of it is because we went through all that squabbling when we were young, right?
We dealt with it all then, and now things are okay. So you're telling me it's going to pass. That's all I wanted to know.
I think so.
Okay.
You might have a long summer first, but then hopefully it'll all be good.
I'm gearing up for it. Jessica, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Great
Julie.
advice, as always. And for more, you can pick up a copy of American Baby magazine or go to AmericanBaby.com. Thank you so much for watching Parents TV, and we will see you again soon.